Good evening and welcome to another video. Today is Saturday the 30th of July 2016, and in tonight's video I'm going to look ahead and preview the afternoon session on day 3 of the PDC Happybet European Darts Open, which is taking place on Dusseldorf live on the internet. The afternoon session sees the last 16 players, and the last 16 players is made up of 12 seeded players and 4 unseeded players. So we lost 4 seeded players on day 2. The afternoon session takes place at 1 PM till 5 PM in German time, which is 12 PM to 4 PM British summer time. The first match we're going to discuss in day 3 in the afternoon session in the last 16 sees Michael Smith, number 3 seed, take on the number 14 seed Stephen Bunting. Now these two have played 4 times before and it's 2-2 on the head-to-head. Stephen Bunting is interestingly won the last 2 meets between these two. One was in 2014 and one of those was in 2015. They've played once on the European Tour before, and Michael Smith won this match by 6 legs to 4 in September 2014. In round 2, Michael Smith beat James Richardson by 6 legs to 4 with 97.39 average, and he was 6th from 14 on doubles, which was 42.86%. So the double percentage was a little bit low for Michael Smith, but again the score was reasonable from him. He could score higher, but he didn't score to his full potential. He was in 4th gear. There was an extra gear in his locker, but he didn't need to use it against James Richardson. And he takes on Stephen Bunting. Now Stephen Bunting beat Stefan Stoiker 6-1 with a 93.74 average, and he was 6th from 9 on doubles, which is 66.67%. He wasn't pushed by Stefan Stoiker in this match whatsoever. Stefan was very poor in this match, and Stephen done the job of a professional player and a top 16 player in the making, and a former world champion. He showed his true class in this match, beating Stefan by 6 legs to 1. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think this will be a very close match. I think this match will go all 11 legs, but I think looking at the rankings between these two, I think that Michael Smith will win this game, by 6 legs to 5. The second match of the afternoon sees the number 6 seed Ian Wright take on the number 11 seed Terry Jenkins. Now these two have played 14 times previously, and it's 7 each on the head-to-heads. They've played once on the European Tour before, and that was in February 2014, and Ian Wright beat Terry Jenkins by 6 legs to 3. Now in round 2, Ian Wright beat Devin Peterson by 6 legs to 2 with a 96 average, and he was 6th from 15 on doubles, which is 40%. Terry Jenkins, on the other hand, beat Johnny Clayton, a potential slip-up match. He could have been a seeded player knocked out by Johnny Clayton. He's a very dangerous player, but Terry managed to get the job done by 6 legs to 3 over Johnny Clayton with a 91.28 average, and he got 6th from 15 on doubles, which again is 40%, just like before. So both players had roughly the same average, but both matches were completely different. Ian Wright was more consistent in his match against Ian Wright, but Terry Jenkins, on the other hand, played some good purple patches in his match with Johnny Clayton, and a few legs he was quite disappointing, so he didn't have that consistency of leg-on-leg pressure which Ian Wright had in his match. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think that Ian Wright will be too strong for Terry Jenkins, and I think Ian Wright will beat Terry Jenkins by 6 legs to 4. The next match sees the unseeded Daryl Gurney take on Mensur Suljovic. Now I couldn't find a head-to-head meeting between these pair. They might have played before, but I really just couldn't find it when I did my research. Daryl beat Benito by 6 legs to 4 with a 94.1 average, and he was 6th from 11 on doubles, which is 54.54%. And this backed up his round 1 win over Robbie Green, which he beat Robbie Green by 6 legs to 5. He'll have to start faster. He can't keep going 4-1 and 4-2 down in his matches and expect to win. He really does need to get out the gate quicker. And he takes on Mensur Suljovic. Now Mensur Suljovic strolled to a 6-1 win over John Michael with 103.41 average, and he was 6 from 9 in doubles, which is 66.67%. Mensur was outstanding in this match. His scoring was very good, his double percentage was very good, and he didn't even need to take out double 14 in this match. He took out 6 doubles other than double 14, which is an amazing stat for Mensur Suljovic because he's that good on double 14, and he generally leaves it, but he didn't leave it once in this match. And what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think this match again could be a close match, but I think that Mensur will be too strong for Daryl early on in this match, and I think he'll take that 4-1 lead, but I think he'll then kick on from there, winning this match by 6 legs to 3. The next match we'll get to talk about is number 2 seed Peter Wright taking on the unseeded Gerwen Price. Now these two have played 3 times previously, and Peter leads head to head with 2 wins to Gerwen's 1. Now Peter's wins have been in massive tournaments. He won the 2015 World Championships and he won the 2015 match play. But Gerwen Price has won the most recent meeting in the Pro Tour in May this year. Now Peter Wright in his round 2 match beat Steve West by 6 legs to 5 with a 97.29 average, and again he was 6 from 15 on doubles, which is 40%. He needed the crowd help to get him through in this match. He came from 5-2 down, and in the last leg they booed Steve West to put him off his double, and he failed to hit double top with 3 darts. But Peter's now on a free run in this tournament. He's got that extra life. He's got the free run because he expected to be out at 5-2. You think you've beat first to 6. So he's now on a free running in this competition, which is dangerous for all the other players. And he takes on Gerwen Price. Now Gerwen Price was outstanding in round 2 when he beat Simon Whitlock. He averaged 100.59 and he was 6 from 9 on doubles, which is 67.67%. That is much better than his round 1 performance, and I was very, very impressed by Gerwen Price in his round 2 performance over Simon Whitlock. So what I think is going to happen in this match, if Gerwen Price can produce the same level performance if you're saying Simon Whitlock, this will be a very, very tight match. I think that Peter Wright will up his average from 97 to 102 in this match, and I think that Peter Wright will win this match by 6 legs to 3 over Gerwen Price. The next match we're going to discuss sees Jan Dekker versus number 13 seed Gary Anderson. So Jan Dekker's another unseeded player. Again, I couldn't find a head-to-head stat on these two players, but Jan Dekker in round 2 beat Dave Chisel by 6 legs to 3 with an 86.23 average, and he was 6 from 14 on doubles, which is 42.86%. This backed up his round 1 performance over John Henderson by 6 legs to 4. He's actually improved his average by 2 from round 1 to round 2, but it isn't good enough. He was shown flashes of very good play, but he was flashes of too much averageness in his play. He has to show that upper level in his performance because he can't get past with an 86 average against the world champion Gary Anderson. If he presents an 86 average Gary Anderson, he probably will get beat 6-0. And he takes on Gary Anderson. Now Gary Anderson beat Chem in round 2 by 6 legs to 1 with 107.34 average, and he was only 6 from 14 in doubles, which is 42.86%. His scoring was outstanding in this match, and it was very, very hard for Chem to keep up. He'll want to improve that double percentage to over 50%, but if he has that 107 average, he'll be very, very hard to beat in this competition. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think that Gary Anderson will be too much for Jan Dekker in this match. I think he'll average about 10 points more. I think that'll be too much for Jan Dekker to cope with. I think the scoring will be too much from Gary Anderson, and I think that Gary Anderson will get the job done in this match, beating Jan Dekker by 6 legs to 2. The next match I'm going to talk about sees Chem Huybrechts take on Wes Newton. Now these two have played 11 times before, and Wes leads the head-to-head with 8 wins and Chem has 3 wins. Chem has won 2 of the last 3 meetings, however, but have never ever played on the European Tour before. And in round 2, Chem Huybrechts beat fellow Belgian Dimitri van der Berg by 6 legs to 3 with a 98.11 average, and he was 6 from 14 in doubles, which is 42.86%. It was a decent performance by Chem Huybrechts. He scored very, very well in this match. I'd be a little bit disappointed, but I'd be okay with his double percentage at 42%. And he takes on Wes Newton. Now, Wes Newton was even surprised himself in his round 2-1 with a 6-2 win over Robert Thornton. He only averaged 86.6 in this match, and he was 6 from 16 on doubles, which is 37.5%. He was very surprised that Robert played so poorly in this match, and that's backed up a win in round 1 over Sean Griffiths by 6 legs to 5. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think that Chem Huybrechts' scoring power will be too much for Wes Newton in this match, and I think that Chem Huybrechts will get the job done in this match by 6 legs to 3 over Wes Newton. I'm going to talk about the penultimate game now, and it sees number 8 seed Jelle Klaasen take on the number 9 seed James Wade. Now these two have played 24 times before, and surprisingly it's 20 wins to James Wade and only 4 wins to Jelle Klaasen, which is surprising. And at one stage James Wade had won 16 consecutive matches against Jelle Klaasen. They played 3 times on the European Tour, and it's 2-1 to James Wade. James Wade's wins came in July 2012 and October 2015, but Jelle's one came back in June 2013, so that was 3 years ago now. Jelle Klaasen beat Richie Edson by 6 legs to 3 with a 98.98 average, and he was 6 from 14 on doubles, which is 42.86%. It was a good performance by Jelle Klaasen. He'd be delighted with such numbers like that. He knows he can have a couple of gears extra in the locker, and he might have to produce it in this match with James Wade. James Wade was disappointing in his second round match over Andy Bolton. He won 6 legs to 5 with an 88.16 average, and he was 6 from 21 on doubles, which is 28.57%. It was that one leg that let his double percentage down. He missed so many darts in leg 5 at a double, but that average is far too low for James Wade. He really has to up that average, and it's the last leg where he had a 15 dart on his own throw, which is a very machine-like performance by James Wade. It was just enough for him to get the job done against Andy Bolton. He can't afford to play as poorly as he did in his round 2 match and round 3 against Jelle Klaasen. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think that we'll see a close-ish match between these two, because James Wade's matches are always generally close, but I think that Jelle Klaasen will have too much from in this match, and I think Jelle Klaasen will win this match by 6 legs to 4. The last match of the afternoon sees the world number 1, Michael van Gerwen, take on the unseeded Kyle Anderson. Now these two have played 5 times previously, and Michael van Gerwen slightly leads the head-to-head with 3 wins to Kyle Anderson's 2 wins. They've only played once on the European Tour, and that was last month in the Austrian Darts Open, and Kyle Anderson won this match by 6 legs to 4 in the quarter-final stage. Now in round 2, Michael van Gerwen beat Jamie Caven by 6 legs to 0. He's carried on his 16 straight legs against Jamie Caven, taking 10 of them in the match play, not losing any legs, and he lost no legs and beating Jamie Caven again by 6 legs to 0. Jamie Caven was really frustrated of running into Michael van Gerwen, especially it only took him 9 minutes to win this match. He averaged 104.86 and he was 6 from 8 on doubles, which was 75%, which is the best double percentage in round 2 of the whole competition. And he takes on Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson in round 2 beat Alan Norris by 6 legs to 3 with a 98.84 average, and he was 6 from 10 on doubles, which is 60%. He backed up his first round win over Crystal Reyes by 6 legs to 5. He upped his average, and he'll have to do it again in this match with Michael van Gerwen. So what do I think is going to happen in this match? I think that Kyle Anderson will push Michael van Gerwen a lot closer than Jamie Caven did, and I think that's a closer match, but I think Michael van Gerwen will win this match by 6 legs to 3 over Kyle Anderson. So with that, that's the end of this video. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up on the video. If you want to leave any feedback on this video, you can do so via the comment section of my YouTube channel, or via my Twitter, or via the Tungsten Tickle Facebook, via their website, or via their Twitter. And until tomorrow I upload another video, I will see you then. Goodbye.